Okay.
All right, good morning, folks. Early start here, coming to you from the Alpha Ice Complex. Game number 3 matchup between the visiting Rochester Junior Americans and your 2015 Pittsburgh Penguins Elite Squad. First period action underway here as Connor Wilson's going to bring it into the offensive zone. It's going to be forced high in the zone where Sawyer Phillips tries to keep it in, comes all the way out to neutral where Wyatt Frankenfield, he carries the mail in. He's bumped into it and he falls down, but covering behind the play was Sawyer Phillips, dumps it into the offensive zone. Frankenfield still in the zone, though, so offsides is the call, 10:27 to go. Here early in the first period, game number 3, the Pens were victorious in the first 2 matchups so far this weekend by scores of 6-4 and 6-1 last night at Hunt Armory. As the Junior Americans bring it back to center now, number 17 has it sticked away momentarily by Frankenfield. It finds the blade of Bingham Green. And forced back to neutral by number 74. That's Easton Borman. Frankenfield falls down as he plays the puck. But he's going to bury it against the wall now. Over on to help out number 74, Easton Borman. It's going to be chipped ahead by Bingham Green. This is going to be a 3-on-1. He's got Paris and Welch with him. He goes wide to Welch. Welch is going to send it back to Bingham Green. It's in front of the net. Bingham Green takes it. It's loose in front. As Grant Loy is going to come on and play this puck now back to center. This puck comes. Grant Loy picks it up. He's going to bring it wide. And he's coming in 1-on-2. He's got Ferguson with him. Nice little move there by Loy. In on net shot just off the stick of the netminder number 31 for the Junior Americans. Comes back behind the zone where Blake Paris controls now. He's pulled down. Nothing called here. Goes in on netminder number 31. Have an offensive zone faceoff coming up. 9:20 to go in the first period. Play resumes here as the Pens have an offensive zone face-off. And it's CJ Nanavisa that's going to pick it up in the neutral zone. He's going to will it back. Off his backhand up to Brooksy Gorski, number 45. Right winger for the Pens. He goes in on forecheck. As it's played up in front of the Pens bench, back to center by defenseman number 97. They get in behind the fence. 97 parks himself in front. He's tied up nicely by Nanavisa. Wilson comes over to play the puck carrier. Goes back to the point, number 7. Long shot taken. Deflects in on Max Dragosic. Left pad save. 97 wheels it off his backhand. It's going to be picked off, though, by number 8, Connor Wilson. He's tripped up. Penalty is going to be coming up, and the Pens are going to have the turkey on the table here at the midpoint of the first period. 8:35 to go. And the Pens are going to the power play as they change up the troops. It's going to be Bingham Green, Sawyer Phillips, and centering those two will be number 93, Riker Ferguson. And on the backside, number 7, Nico Stark, and number 4, Wyatt Frankenfield. Faceoff's going to be won by the Junior Americans. Number 7 brings it behind netminder number 31. He throws it up the half wall to a winger. And back to center, coming through with some speed, was 98. He has the puck knocked off the stick nicely by Nico Stark. He's going to transition to offense real quick. Bingham Green's going to come in now. He loses the puck to number 18. Rochester defender tries to move it ahead. Sawyer Phillips says no to that. And he ties it up on the half wall. It's going to poke up under the skates of the official to the stick of number 4. That's Wyatt Frankenfield. He moves it to Nico Stark. Stark up to Ferguson. Ferguson goes for a change. Bingham Green, long shot just over the bar. As Sawyer Phillips is on. Applying some pressure now with Connor Wilson. Puck's going to be poked high in the zone to the stick of Sawyer Phillips. He dumps it in. Pens have 36 to go on the power play. As it's picked up by Brooks Gorski, he's got a backdoor. It's CJ Nanavisa that pokes that just wide of the net. Good look there by Gorski. He's going to send it back to the point to Nanavisa. Nanavisa is going to bring it right back down the half wall. Covering the point smartly is Blake Paris. It's going to be outletted now as Welch is going to come over. And the Rochester Junior Americans are going to dump this in. That's going to be just about it for the power play as Welch is going to carry the mail back to center. Long, strong pass up to Brooks Gorski. Pens may have one more chance there as we are back to 5-on-5 action. Gorski fans on that centering attempt. 7 minutes now to play in the first period. 0-0 the score here from the Alpha Ice Complex in Harmarville. As it's wound behind the net where number 12 for the Junior Americans moves it to his D partner. Attempted to hit his winger, and it's going to be thrown back to the stick of CJ Nanavisa. He winds it around. He goes to his D partner. That's Noah Welch. Welch gets his head up, finds Brooks. No, that's Bingham Green now with it. Drop pass nicely to CJ Nanavisa. Nanavisa trying to move it to Paris. Goes by everybody now. Battle ensues on the half wall. Squirts free to Grant Loy. He can't control it, but on to help out is Owen Mulligan. Mulligan has Loy at the point. He's going to hold on to it here on the half wall, though. Loses it. Picked up now by Riker Ferguson. He goes into the slot for a pass. Picked up now by Mulligan. Mulligan tries to poke in that rebound. And it's covered up strongly by the netminder, number 31. 6:09 now to go in the first period. As Nico Stark's going to go back and retrieve this puck now. He transitions it up nicely to Bingham Green. Bingham Green has it knocked off of his stick by, I believe that was number 72, Peluzio. And it's shot off the backside of Riker Ferguson. Bingham Green collects the puck, tried to center it over to Owen Mulligan. Can't get through, though. Number 7 is going to try Loya. Borman, fresh off the bench here, streaking down from his center position to help out. Creates that turnover, moves it to Mulligan. Mulligan can't move it further, though, as it's deflected off the stick of Krieger, number 21. Goes right to Stark. Stark throws it up into the neutral zone, finds the stick of number 19, Bingham Green. He's going to dump it deep. Some of the Pens are going to go for a change here. But staying on is centerman number 74, Easton Borman. He gets that puck. Good work there by Easton. Tried a centering pass there, but it deflects off a couple of skates. And he's going to be in a puck battle here against 97. It's going to be thrown back to number 21, who's going to try to bounce it outside. Instead, he's going to throw it across the ice to 72, Peluzio. Frankenfield and Wilson are going to contest. Goes behind the net now. 21 centering pass. Good stick there by Sawyer Phillips to break that up. As Connor Wilson's going to drive now. He has a nice little spin move. He's got Sawyer Phillips. Phillips tries to tuck that in. Still loose in front. It's going to be held in by Welch. Welch is going to drop it right down below the goal line to Phillips. Phillips centering pass attempt. It's loose. Still loose. Still loose. And the official's going to blow the whistle there. Good flurry of activity from all 5 skaters on the ice. Pens are going to change up their forward group here as Blake Paris and Brooks Gaworski come over the boards. Good puck movement there from Connor Wilson and Sawyer Phillips to create that opportunity. Ferguson on to take this draw. He's giving some as Welch. Welch is going to send this. Deflects in. Off the stick of Riker Ferguson. It looked like Fergie called that play from the faceoff dot. And Riker Ferguson tips it home to make it 1-0 here for the Pens Elite squad. Clean win off the draw by Riker to the stick of Noah Welch. Welch snaps the shot, deflects home up over the left shoulder of netminder, number 31. And it's a 1-0 game, 4:27 to go. And the Pens cash in on their 7th shot of the game here. Riker Ferguson wins that draw right back to himself, takes a slash off the stick. But Blake Paris is going to lumber this in. He's going to bring it in. Moves it over to Gaworski. Gaworski can't get a lot of wood on that shot. He was tied up. Comes high in the zone now as it's going to be poked around everybody. 2-on-1's going to develop here. As number 18 is going to try and move it across. Gets it off the left pad of Max Dragosic. Good stop there by Max. Not letting that puck get across as Brooks Gaworski is going to apply some pressure to the point man. Paris now pops out. Goes to the stick of Brooks Gaworski. And back to center to number 8. Where he's going to wind things up here. Pens are going to try and change some of their players. Can't get to the bench now as this is going to be dumped now deep. Wide Frankenfield goes to collect this puck. As it's thrown up to Bingham Green. It's going to pop out behind everybody. No, Walsh is going to come over. He picks up this puck now. He gets his stick tied up. He reverses nicely to Wyatt Frankenfield. Frankenfield's taking a couple of slashes, whacks, and he gives it right back to number 98 now. Number 98 for the Junior Americans throws this softly behind the net. Walsh goes over. He's going to try and push this up to Mulligan. And it goes off the stick of Mulligan. It's thrown right back in the zone. It's going to be an offsides call. 3:04 now to play. Neutral zone faceoff coming up. The goal scorer for the Pens, number 93, Riker Ferguson. He's back on to take this draw with the Wilson-Phillips line. On the backside, TJ Nenevisa and Grant Loya. As it's going to be one back now to number 43, Grant Loya, right-handed defenseman for the Pens, celebrating his birthday this weekend. Connor Wilson gets that puck. He's got Phillips going with him. Moves it to Phillips. Back door. Can't get a lot on that shot. Goalie's without a stick now. Try it again. They go right back to Phillips. Nice seam pass there by Connor Wilson. Unable to get that in on net, though, as we are now under 2.5 to go in the first period. Here, Wilson's going to be pulled down. Nothing called. 97 is going to work it around Loya. He bounces left. Shot taken high off the glove. Deflects in on net. Or Dragosic had to be alert there for that rebound. Wilson's thrown down there as he's bought into by number 7. It's going to be thrown deep in the zone. 2:12 to go in the first period. Grant Loya now picks up the mail behind the net. Loya's going to reverse. He's looking to go to up the wing to Connor Wilson. He was being engaged by number 3, Blakely. As Blakely throws a slash now into Ferguson. It's going to be dumped deep by Wilson for Phillips. Phillips comes in, soft shot off the right pad of netminder number 31. Pressure being applied by number 74, Easton Borman. Comes high in the zone now as it squirts free to the faceoff dot, where the junior Americans are going to pick it up here. Blake Parrish, fresh off the bench, who applies some pressure, creates a turnover, moves it over to Nico Stark. Stark's going to dump it back into the Pens offensive zone. As Blake Parrish lumbers in now. He's trying to split defense. Strong shot by Blake Parrish. Just goes over the net. As it's thrown back to center, or Wyatt Frankenfield. He goes D to D over to Nico Stark. Stark tries to slip it through a couple of bodies. It finds a stick of a streaking Brooks Gaworski. Gaworski comes in. Brooks Gaworski puts it in the back of the net. Brooks Gaworski off a nice little seam pass from Nico Stark. It's a 2-0 game. 1:06 to go in the first period. Gaworski cashes in on the Pens' 9th shot of the game. And Easton Borman steps in to take this draw. And it's going to come right back to the goal scorer stick. Gaworski, he tries a little curl move to go through the skates. That's knocked off of his blade. Picked up now by Blake Parrish, though. Blake Parrish sends it in on net. And that's where the netminder is going to shut things down here. Some bumping. Some fisticuffs here as Gaworski gets knocked into. He just takes a glove from netminder number 31. So it's a continuation here of the last couple minutes of the game last night. As turned into a little bit of a wrestling match there late in the game. But Gaworski is going to go to the box here with coincidental, I believe, roughing minors with number 72, Peluzio. So we're going to play 5-on-5 here. 53.2 to go in the first period. 2-0 to score. Foreman steps in for another draw. Flanked by Green and Owen Mulligan. It goes softly in on netminder number 31, who covers up. On the backside, number 14, Noah Walsh, and number 77, CJ Nenavisa. Going to be won back by Brigham Green, unable to hang on to this puck because it's going to be brought back to the neutral zone by number 9. Should be an icing call. It's dumped all the way down the ice. No icing here. It's going to be waved off. As Welch comes over to apply some pressure, goes off the dasher board now behind the net. Borman runs into a man. Centering pass attempt. Squirts wide of the net here as it comes back to the point. Number 7, long shot taken. Glove down by Dragosic. As the official clearly missed an icing call there. It was shot from the Rochester blue line. All the way down the left side of the ice, shall we say, on a Super Bowl Sunday here. Wide of the net. As Krieger's now going to be tripped up by Welch. Nothing called there. Could have rung up Noah Welch there for a trip. Instead, Welch is going to swing this behind to CJ Nenavisa. It's going to come back to center here where Sawyer Phillips is going to be in a foot race here against 97. 97 uses his body right now to keep that pressure at bay, and that's going to be it for the first period. 2-0 to score at the end of one. Goal scorers, Riker Ferguson and Brooks Gaworski. We'll be back here in a second. All right, period 2 set to get started here. Puck is dropped here, 12:57 and counting. As Riker Ferguson is on at center with the Wilson Phillips line on the defensive pair here. We have Loya and Stark. As the puck battle here on the near wall results in Riker Ferguson making the headman pass. And so this is going to be called an icing here, as it's after the officials missed a couple there late in the first period, that resulted in some scoring chances for the Junior Americans. 12:35 to play. D-zone draw coming up to the right of goaltender number 29, Max Dragicic. 2-0 game here. Number 98, Page, is going to step in against number 74, Easton Borman now for this draw. Grant Loya, he's ties up his man here below the goal line, sends it behind Dragicic to the stick of Nico Stark. Stark fans on that attempt, is able to recover and backhand it to the wall. Squirts out in front of the net where it's picked up by number 43, Grant Loya. He loses control, but it's going to be strong play there by Easton Borman. He's coming in 2-on-2. He's got Blake Paris coming with him. Borman stops up there. He's separated from the puck. And it comes back to neutral where Green and Borman contest. Goes under everybody as Nico Stark's going to go back and retrieve this puck now. 12 minutes to go in the second period. Stark leaves it for Loya. Loya retreats behind Dragicic now, using the net as a shield. He's going to retreat as he's pressured by 86. Squirts out to Nico Stark. Stark stops up behind his net, gets his head up, finds Blake Paris. Blake Paris leaves it for Bingham Green. Green has this knocked off of his stick, though, as he's slowed up entering the zone. It's going to be dumped in deep by Borman. Borman's going to go for a change. Riker Ferguson, freshly on at center here, is going to apply some pressure here on the forecheck. Goes off of his stick, deflects to number 7, Smith. And the Junior Americans are coming out here 3-on-2. They go wide to number 17. He's going to be approached by Frankenfield, where Mulligan's going to pick it up now. He takes it behind the net. He loses the puck. Frankenfield falls down now. As still here on the goal line, we have a puck battle. Frankenfield wins that battle. He's going to send it back up to Mulligan. Mulligan can't force it further. Goes off the skate of Noah Walsh now. Frankenfield comes over to help out, as it's thrown behind Dragicic. Frankenfield has it. He's going to throw it in front of the stick of Phillips. Correction, that's Wilson that catches up to it. Keeping it in the zone nicely, Riker Ferguson keeps it in. Owen Mulligan's going to throw it deep now. Wilson has a stick in his midsection. Nothing's being called there, as number 12, Moran's going to try and bring it out dangerously in front of his own net. He escapes there. It's going to turn into a 3-on-2. As number 9's going to try Welch and Frankenfield. Welch is going to force his man wide. Centering pass, nobody home. Goes through everybody. Number 8 dances around Phillips now. Comes wide to Krieger. To the stick of Noah Welch and over to Borman now. Borman's going to poke this ahead to Phillips. Phillips has Connor Wilson going with him. Goes through everybody, though. And it's going to be brought back to center here as Page is going to be the puck carrier. He's going to try Welch. Tries a seam pass over that goes through everybody. Pens are able to keep this action to the outside. Comes back to the point man. Number 12 goes off the high stick of Wyatt Frankenfield, and that's going to be a stop and play here. 9:39 to go in the second period. It's going to be a D-zone draw here. Point man shot that in. Frankenfield knocked it down with his high stick. So the Pens are going to change up the troops. Bingham Green's going to force this by everybody. Chips it up off the wall to himself. He's got Blake Paris coming down the back door. Tries to move it to Blake Paris. Deflects high over the head of everybody over here to the half wall. Shot off the legs of the official. It deflects high in the slot where Peluzio is going to try and move it further. He forgot one thing. It was the puck. His teammate number 8 is going to pick it up, moves it right back to Peluzio. He's going to be pressured there by Grant Loya. And it's going to be forced deep in the zone now where Bingham Green has to go back and collect this. Well, we have a puck battle along the wall. It's going to be won by Bingham Green. Green's going to carry it back as he's going to dump it in. Goes for a change. Blake Paris is going to stay on here to apply some pressure here on the forecheck. Nanovice is going to move down from his deep position. He pinches down. Moves it down below the goal line to Blake Paris. He's got a man open in front. It's Riker Ferguson. He's tied up, though, by number 7. Squirts out in front of the net dangerously, and it's covered up by number 31. Offensive zone face-off to the right of netminder number 31 now coming up as we are approaching the midpoint of second period action here. Game number 3 between the Rochester Junior Americans and the 2015 Pens Elite squad. Centerman Riker Ferguson's going to actually move to a shooting position here as Gawarski's going to step in for this face-off. It's going to be won by the Junior Americans. 97, he throws it behind the net to number 7. That's Smith. Smith moves it up to number 86. 86 centering pass attempt to 98. It's going to be dumped in deep where Nico Stark's going to go back to carry this puck out. Throws it back to the point man. That's number 7, Smith. He dances around a couple of Penguins. As he dances around the faceoff dot, centering pass, nice little seam pass there. Comes to the stick of 97. Shot off the post. 97's got a wicked shot there. Penn's fortunate enough that didn't end up in the back of the net. Now 8:05 to play. Good pushback here from the Junior Americans in the second period. It's going to be thrown to the stick of Frankenfield, who's in ahead of the play. Offsides there. So we're going to have a neutral zone faceoff coming up. 7:55 to go. As it's going to be Easton Borman on with Wilson and Phillips on the backside, Welch and Nenevisa. It's going to be won by Borman over to Sori Phillips. He's going to carry it in. He's got a 1-2 strong shot into the glove, midsection of netminder number 31. We're going to do it again. Offensive zone faceoff now to the right of netminder number 31. Wilson's going to step in for this draw. It's going to be one right to the stick of Easton Borman. Shot off the mask of Costanzo. Wilson follows that on. Nice rebound shot there. Comes high to Nenevisa. Nenevisa dumps it right back down the half wall. Picked up by Borman. Borman makes a little move. Tried to move it to Sora Phillips in the slot. That gets picked off by number 8. 8's going to swing it back behind him. As we have a 10-car pile up here right in front of the Pens bench as it comes to Nenevisa. Nenevisa swings it over to Welch. Welch is going to tip this up to Sawyer Phillips. Phillips is going to tap this back into the zone. As Costanzo, he wheels around, brings it back to neutral. Number 17 is going to try to put it in behind Nenevisa. Welch is going to come over to help out. He's going to skate this behind his net now. Tried to move to Phillips. That gets picked off. Ferguson's going to be forced down. As it goes off a couple of bodies below the goal line now. Number 7 takes a shot from the point, goes wide of the net. As Penguins battle to try and get it out of the zone, it's going to come to the tape of Noah Welch. Welch is going to slide it over to Nenevisa. Nenevisa stops up. Nenevisa is going to throw it back through center where it's picked up by Connor Wilson. Wilson walks in, shot taken, glove down by netminder. Number 74, Easton Borman is going to step in for this face-off. He's flanked by Bingham Green and Blake Paris. On the backside, it's Grant Loya and Nico Stark. It's going to be one back cleanly to Loya. Loya's going to try and work it down to Bingham Green. That's picked off by Peluzio. Forces it back to neutral where it's picked up by number 7, Nico Stark. Borman sends it into open space. Loya and Paris are over to collect this. Pass was a little bit behind Bingham Green and kind of pitchforked himself into the ice there. As it's going to come in ahead of the play. And we're going to have another neutral zone face-off as the Pens were offsides there. 5:38 to go in the second period. Shot totals 13 for your Pens Elite boys, 7 for the Rochester Junior Americans. 2-0 game. Goal scorers, if you're joining us late here, Riker Ferguson on a deflection from a point shot, and Brooks Gaworski picked up the second goal. Puck's going to be moved up to Easton Borman now, as he tucks it behind netminder number 39. And Krieger tries to force it behind Stark. Stark uses his body to protect the puck. Nice. Sends it in front of his own net over to number 43, Grant Loya. He's going to spin behind his own net. Moves it right back to Stark. Stark off the stick of Easton Borman. This could be a breakaway for Easton Borman. He's going to try and break away here. Borman in all alone. Takes a stick. Should be a penalty shot here coming up. Instead, it's going to be a 2 minutes for a trip. Borman exploded there. Got a discussion here whether or not this should be a trip or a penalty shot, I believe. It is going to be a penalty shot. So Easton Borman was in behind the defense. He gets hauled down there. So Easton Borman in on netminder number 39 here. Exactly 5 minutes ago. Borman picks up the puck here at center. He winds around. He's taking his time. Gets his head up. He's got a couple kick moves there. Easton Borman tucks it in on the penalty shot goal. Making it 3-0. Borman is on fire this weekend as he's mobbed by his teammates. He created something out of nothing, gets rewarded with a penalty shot. Had all kinds of kick moves. Dad must have been teaching him some moves. Couple leg kicks, and he tucked it into a wide open net, stick side. As the netminder didn't know whether to cry or wind his watch there. Easton Borman makes it 3-0. We're now under 5 minutes to play here in second period action. Game number 3 between the Rochester Junior Americans and the Pens Elite. Played 2 yesterday. As Riker Ferguson's going to step in against Page number 98. On the right side, it's Connor Wilson. On the left side, Owen Mulligan. On the back side, Stark and Loya. As the Pens are looking to go 5-0 here against the Junior Americans this season. But still a long way to go in this game. 4:34 now to go in the second period. It's going to be sent back to the point man. Nico Stark sends it right back into the Pens offensive zone where number 97, smooth skating defenseman, is going to wind it behind to his D partner. 7 just falls down and gets tripped by the goal line there. As Ferguson loses this puck right back behind the net, but Stark's going to pinch down the wall now. No further, though. It goes to the half wall. Stark throws it right back down in as the Pens going to make a change here. A couple of players getting some fresh bodies. The goal scorer, Easton Borman's now on the ice. As he comes over to apply some pressure, he strips his man of the puck. And he leaves it for Owen Mulligan. He's got Borman going to the net. Mulligan goes back toward Loya. Snaps a shot just wide of the net. Good look there by Owen Mulligan, finding Loya in a soft spot. As it's going to be thrown back to center here. As number 97 is going to try and work it around everybody. As Connor Wilson now picks it up. He leaves it for Grant Loya. Loya's going to try and work it around a couple of bodies. No further, though. As Noah Welch now picks it up. He's going to race over to this puck. He's got Sawyer Phillips here. It's going to be sent all the way down the ice. And it is going to be long enough for icing. Not a smart play there. He had time and space there. Noah Walsh threw it behind everybody. So the Pens are going to have a D-zone draw here. 3:13 to go in the second period. Puck's going to be won back cleanly by Borman to Welch. Welch throws it to his D partner. That's Wyatt Frankenfield out the other side. Goes up, nice outlet, up to Gaworski. Gaworski can't move it out of the zone, though. It's going to be thrown right back to Wyatt Frankenfield. As there's a battle here on the half wall, it squirts out to Phillips. Walsh just going to race over to this puck. He's going to skate up with it. Centering pass goes through to Gaworski. Gaworski tries to dip and dance around number 12. Comes down to the half wall where it's picked up by Gaworski. Gaworski's going back door. Tries to find Sawyer Phillips, who's sitting there in the slot. Borman's going to wheel around with this. Borman's going to throw it over to Welch now at the point. Welch is going to take a shot here. It goes, deflects in on net. Goes wide of the net. It's picked up by Gaworski. Gaworski now has it. Gaworski's looking to move this out in front to Frankenfield in deep. Goes to the tape of Ferguson. Ferguson now picks it up again. In on net. Glove down by the netminder, number 39. Good flurry of activity there by the Pens. Offensive zone face-off here. Pens changing all 5 of their skaters. 2:16 now to go. 16 shots on goal. Only 7 for the Junior Americans. Ferguson's going to step in. He's giving some instruction to Nenavisa. He wins it back clean to Loya now. Loya comes in, snaps it right off the shin guard to Peluzio, number 12. Racing over to get to this puck, though, is big Blake Paris. He wins that battle and moves it to Loya. Loya over to his D partner, CJ Nenavisa. Nenavisa tries a seam pass. That's picked off by defenseman number 97. He's in. Just puts it wide of the net. As we're under 2 to play in the second period now. Krieger now picks it up. He splits the defense. Long shot goes off the glove of goaltender number 29, Max Dragosic. As Ferguson, he reverses it behind the net to number 43, Grant Loya. Puck squirts out in front. I believe Peluzio tried to tuck that in. Correction, that was number 8. Throws it back to number 97. A couple sticks waving at that puck. And the catch is going to be made by number 29, Max Dragosic. He shuts things down. 3 quick shots there for the Junior Americans on that shift. 1:19 now to go in the second period. On to take this draw. Number 74, Easton Borman, the penalty shot goal earlier in the period for number 74. He's going to win this over to Nico Stark. But jumping up into that play, it's going to squirt free. As Max Dragosic had to poke the right pad out there. And he covers up smartly. As it was thrown from below the goal line up to a Rochester winger there. Max shuts the door again, keeping this a 3-0 game. 1:09 to play. Borman's going to step in once again with the Wilson-Phillips line, and Stark is on, and Wyatt Frankenfield on the backside. Centering pass attempt to 97. He's open in the slot. Rebound. Max Dragosic shuts it down again. As some frustration showing from the Junior Americans players. As Max is just shutting the brick wall, bringing it down here in front of the Penguin net right now. 53 even to go in the second period. 3-0 to score. Ferguson now want to take this face-off with Gaworski, and I think it's Gaworski and Phillips. As Phillips is going to come up, he creates a turnover. He's behind the defense right now. Seven's trying to catch up to Sawyer Phillips. He walks in, makes a little move. And it goes in the net. Sawyer Phillips cashes in. He tucked it around the pad. The goalie just could not have the leg strength, did not to shut the door. Phillips won that battle. Showed some speed, showed some toughness, made the move, and he puts it around the left toe of netminder number 39. Sawyer Phillips cashes in to make it 4-0 with 40.9 to go in the second period. As it's going to be one ahead now to Sawyer Phillips, the goal scorer. He comes in, he downshifts, centering pass attempt to Riker Ferguson now. It goes behind the net. Number 12, he has his pocket picked by Riker Ferguson. 86 falls down. He gets back up. He now has the puck. He centers it up to Page. Page is going to throw it over to number 18, LaRocca. Welch is in a foot race with him. Welch is going to force him wide. As it's going to be forced now along the near wall or the far wall. Seam pass over to number 12 at the point. He's going to walk down. He's got all kinds of daylight. Goes off the stick. And that's going to be it for the second period. 4-0 is going to be the score. Almost a late goal there. Gets tucked in. And that's where it's going to be right now. Penn's up 4-0. Also up 4-0 in the season series against the Junior Americans. So we'll be back with third period action here of game number 3 on the weekend for the 2015 Penn's Elite Boys hosting the Rochester Junior Americans. .13 on the clock. Easton Borman steps in, flanked by Paris and Green on the backside. Nico Stark and Grant Loy. It's going to be a one back cleanly to Nico Stark. He's going to move it up to Blake Paris. Blake Paris tries to split behind the defense. Still loose in the crease. Followed on there by Bingham Green. Shot. Good save there by the netminder. Number 39 is going to come all the way back to the neutral zone where Grant Loya, he's contested. 2-on-1 develops here as number 12 is going to try and work around Nico Stark. Backdoor pass. Shot wide of the net. Dragosic may have gotten his stick out there, making a nice little poke check move, so the Rochester player couldn't get a clean shot off there. As Blake Parrish creates a turnover, he's got Bingham Green going with him. It's going to be knocked off of number 25, Blake Parrish's stick, but it comes right to the slot, where Bingham Green unable to get a clean shot away there on the netminder. It's going to be wheeled all the way around here, the far wall. As it's going to be thrown back to the point where it's stick down by Wyatt Frankenfield. He skates around a couple of guys. He goes in on net. Player's backing off of him. He falls down, though. As it's going to be brought back where Owen Mulligan's going to cover the defensive side. 97's going to try him. He's just going to be content to throw in on net. Rebound's going to go off the shin pad of Welch. As Loy is now on, he's going to go back and collect this. And it's shot back up to the neutral zone as Blakely, number 3, is going to pick it up. He loses it, though. He finds it once again. Blakely is going to be contested by Brooks Kowarski. He has the puck taken off of him. As gets into a little bit of a stick-swinging battle with number 45, Brooks Kowarski. It's going to come back high in the zone. It's Easton Borman now that picks it up. He comes down the left side, or the right side. He's forced to the wall by Blakely, where Mulligan tries to angle his man up. He has his stick held up there. 72 just clenched down on Owen Mulligan's stick. Saw that same play in the Winter Classic a couple times, and Owen Mulligan's going to get rung up there. I think 72 felt his stick there, just started holding on to it. And so Owen Mulligan's going to go to the box against the boys here from Western New York, who will have a power play here for the next 90 seconds. Connor Wilson's going to step in to take this draw on with Phillips on the backside, Nenavisa and Grant Loya. Puck's going to be thrown back to the point man as it's going to be thrown back down to Page, but Page just falls down. Tripped over the face-off dots there. As number 8's going to wheel it behind the net. 1 minute now to go on the penalty call to number 12, Owen Mulligan. As it's wheeled back through the neutral zone onto the stick of Grant Loya. He's facing some pressure now. He creates some space, backhands it back into the neutral zone. Where the Junior Americans try to get the attack going. It's going to be thrown back behind goaltender Dragicic, number 77, CJ Nenavisa, backhands it behind the net over to Wilson. Wilson now picks it up, gets caught in the skates of the official. Right back to the tape of CJ Nenavisa. 30 seconds now to go on the penalty kill. Nenavisa falls down, but it's going to squirt up to Sawyer Phillips. Phillips takes the heat out of the kitchen. As there's now 20 to go on the PK, 4-0 the score, 9:34 now to play in the third period. Rochester brings it around Nenavisa now. Big man going to the net. And man open in the slot. It's going to go to him. Krieger's the shot. Good blocker save by Dragicic. Sends it high over the net. Connor Wilson now has it on the half wall. We're back to 5-on-5 action. Mulligan's coming out of the box. He's up ahead of the play. Wilson's going to try and find him. He goes to him. Oh, and Mulligan in by himself, all alone. Makes a little move. Goes to his backhand. Tucks it wide of the net, though. Good play there by Connor Wilson to find Owen Mulligan, who is out of the box. We've got a whistle here. As it looks like the netminder may have knocked the net off its moorings there. So we're going to have 9 minutes even to play here in the third period. Bingham Green's going to step in and take this face off. As the Junior American's going to try and walk around Nico Stark, chip behind him. Krieger's going to go in after it along with 97. 97's around Borman. 97, good blocker save there by Max Dragicic to shut the door again on 97. As it's going to be thrown back to center. As Blake Parrish contests right in front of the Pens bench. It's going to be wheeled behind the net where Wyatt Frankenfield now goes back to get it. He reverses it for his D partner, number 7, Nico Stark. Stark throws it up to Bingham Green. Green chips it over to Blake Parrish, streaking with some speed there. It was in his skates, though. 97, the defenseman for the Rochester Junior Americans. He's a player. He's going to throw it back into the Pens D zone. In ahead of the play, though, are a couple of Junior Americans. As Frankenfield comes over and gets rubbed out by Blakely. As Blakely's going to go to the box. He came in, took an extra jab there at the end of the play. As the Pens are going to have a power play. Undisciplined penalty there from number 3, Blakely. For the Junior Americans, going to result in a Pens power play. 8:11 to play in the third period. Number 3 is going to sit down for 1:30. Hopefully less for the Pens here as they can hopefully cash in on the power play. Ferguson's going to step in for the draws. Got Gaworski and Mulligan, and on the backside is Welch. Welch is going to now pick up this puck. He's going to throw it off the shin guard of the Junior American. It's in a couple of skates here as it comes back to the neutral zone to number 12. Owen Mulligan. Mulligan centers it up to Ferguson. Defender falls down. Ferguson's in by himself. Backhanded off of the blocker. Nenavisa is going to pinch down the wall now. He throws it to Gaworski. Comes right back to Nenavisa. Nenavisa is going to curl right back down the wall as he takes it below the goal line. He's hooked up. Ferguson's going to cover back. As it's going to be thrown back to high in the zone. Ferguson's going to drop it right back down to Gaworski. Gaworski, long shot off the shin guard of number 12. Gaworski still has the puck. He throws it back to the point. Welch is going to send it right back down the wall to Gaworski. Gaworski's got Loya. Finds Loya now high in the zone. Loya still has time. He walks down. Shot deflected in on net. Still loose. Still loose. Official blows the whistle, though. As he lost sight of the puck, Penn's going to change up the power play unit here. .707 to play, 26 to go on the PP. 21 shots to 17 here in favor of your 2015 Penn's Elite squad, up 4-0 here as the midpoint of the third period. Easton Borman, the centerman's going to step in to take this draw after giving some instructions to Phillips and Wilson. On the backside, Stark and Loya. As the Junior Americans apply some pressure here as it's picked up by Easton Borman here. Loya now brings it in the offensive zone. Back to 5-on-5 action as Blakely out of the box. He's going to go to the bench here as 97 tries to wind it up behind his own net. He's going to bring it back to center. Has his pocket picked momentarily by Borman. 97 sticks with it. He's going to bring it in towards Loya. Good stick there by Grant Loya. Borman now loses this puck, but Nico Stark picks it up. Moves it up to Phillips. Phillips tries to move it up ahead to Connor Wilson. Picked off there by the defenseman number 7 that brings it into the zone. In ahead of the play was number 21. Offsides is the call. 6:09 to play here in the third period. Ferguson steps in, flanked by Paris and Green. Krieger's going to wheel it behind everybody. Frankenfield's going to go over and get to this puck. It's going to be run into there as Peluzio wins that battle. Moves it over to a teammate, Moran. Got to be careful. 97 trying to sneak down in the back door. It's going to be chipped off of Blake Paris' stick back to the neutral zone as we're under 6 to play here in the third period. 4-0 to score. As Bingham Green now picks it up. He's going to work through a couple of bodies, moves it to his centerman, Riker Ferguson. He stops in. Penn's do a good job there, staying on side. Number 7 goes D to D over to 97. He goes right back to 7. He loses control of this puck as Bingham Green's going to walk in. He's pulled down, nothing called. Goes to the tape of Riker Ferguson. He reverses back nicely behind the net. Tries to work it back to Green. It's going to come up the half wall now where Blake Paris applies some pressure. This is going to poke through everybody. Frankenfield falls down. We got a foot race here as Welch is going to try and catch 97. It's going to be sent back door. Back in front of the net as Welch is going to pick this up now. He's going to skate. He throws it back into his own zone. As it's sent now behind the net to Frankenfield. It's going to be stick behind the net as Riker Ferguson now takes a cross check from Krieger, and that's going to be a penalty call. As Krieger's going to go to the box. Penn's going to have a power play here as 21 Krieger goes to the box. 4:34 to go in the third period. As it comes to the stick of CJ Nanavisa now. Puck battle here is... It's going to be possessed by Borman. Borman gets this right back from Gaworski. As it comes back to center and into the stick of Grant Loya. He winds it up. He's going to come in 1-on-3 now. He's got Gaworski going with him. He throws it wide to Owen Mulligan now. Under 4 to play in the third period. Mulligan's pulled down. As Grant Loya, he tries to curl move around. couple of guys. It comes high, stick down there by Owen Mulligan, wide of the net. 33 to go here on the power play for the Pens. Puck battle here on the half wall. It's going to squirt out to the faceoff dot where the Junior Americans are going to force it back to center. They come out 3-on-2 now. As this player was ahead of the play. Number 8 was offsides for the Junior Americans. So we're going to have neutral zone faceoff. 18 seconds to go on the power play. Ferguson's going to step in, flanked by Wilson and Phillips on the backside. Stark and Frankenfield, 15 to go on the power play. Squirts out to center where number 7, defenseman for the Rochester Junior Americans, going to try and work this head. It's going to be a 2-on-1 here. Phillips is Wilson going with him. Saucer pass across, just goes out of the reach of Phillips, wide of the net. We're back to 5-on-5 action here. 3 minutes to play in the third period. As Frankenfield tries to poke this further, but he's helped out by number 93. That's Riker Ferguson. Shot in on net, doesn't reach it as 97's able to pick up that shot from Sawyer Phillips. He's going to send it wide now to his D partner, number 7, and thrown up ahead to number 21, Krieger. Krieger runs Frankenfield. And I think we may have an offsides call here. I think officials aren't sharing too much. It could be a penalty. Oh, they're going to ring up Krieger here for that body check. As number 21 is going to go right back to the box for a minute 30. 2:33 to go in the third period. Pens up 4-0. Bingham Green, Blake Paris, Easton Borman, the forward grouping. Nenevison and Welch on the backside. Blake Paris tries to bring it forward. Welch is going to take a shot. It's going to dip down in front off the shin protector of 97. It's going to be thrown back to center now, where CJ is going to be in a foot race to go back and collect this puck. He protects it nicely along the wall, throws it to Borman. Borman falls down, though, as Borman now has it. He's going to throw it up to Blake Paris. Paris still collects the puck, shoots it off of the netminder, comes high in the slot now, where number 7's going to try. Defenseman's going to step up here. He's going to try and work around Welch. Welch picks that right off his stick. Moves it up to Green. Paris now comes back to center. Depends on the power play here, though, for the next 38 seconds. As it's sent back into the offensive zone, picked up by Blake Paris. He walks in. He's got a backdoor option. That's CJ Nenevisa. It's going to be brought back to center ice as number 43, Grant Loy, is going to wind it up in his own zone now. Gets his head up, moves it up to Gorski. As it finds the tape of Owen Mulligan, he walks in 2-on-2, 3-on-2. He's got Ferguson now on the outside. Ferguson stops up, sends it soft into the net. 39, the goaltender was off balance there. We're back to 5-on-5 action as 21 is back on. As Brooks Gorski had a wide open net, just could not get to that rebound. Nico Stark walks in. He shoots it off the shin guard of number 8. We're under a minute to get play here from the Alpha Ice Complex. 4-0 the score. As the Pens are looking to not allow a team from Western New York to win on a Super Bowl Sunday, which is a familiar concept, I think. As it's going to come to Brooks Gorski. He's in all alone, makes a move. Shot wide of the net, though, still sitting there along the goal line as we're under 20 now to play. Grant Loy is going to move down the wall. He dips and dances around a couple of bodies. As it comes high to Brooks Gorski, he takes a slapper. That goes behind the net. 8 seconds down to play. Borman falls down as he was applying some pressure. Loy's going to come down the wall. He's going to just be content to pin it up here with 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and that's going to do it. And your Pittsburgh Penguins Elite Squad is going to go 3-0 on the weekend, 5-0 on the season series against the Rochester Junior Americans. And it's a 4-0 score. Max Dragosic earns the shutout there. He had to be strong at several points in this game. And that's going to do it here from the Alpha Ice Complex. Final score, 2015 Pens Elite 4, the Rochester Junior American 0.